and industry professionals, getting more insight into different professions and areas of business. As I have said, students will be given a chance to apply their knowledge into real-world situations for a real local company. There are other incentives for students, the money. The top 3 teams will be earning prize money at the end. So now I would like to introduce you to Duncan Ross. He is the Director of Marketing, Sales, and Visitor Experience. He will be talking to you more about the Royal Botanical Gardens, and he will be revealing the topic of the case.
Okay, thank you. I think that I've got a big enough voice. I'm going to dispense with the podium, and I'm just going to get out here and just present. Everybody can hear me at the back? Can hear me? Okay, that's great. So, first of all, I just want to thank Alexandra and Mary for bringing this opportunity to Royal Botanical Gardens. And I thank you immensely for your interest. You will be helping me do my job, and I'm really, really thankful for that. I also want to say that these kind of programs are incredibly valuable. The learning that you're going to get out of something like this will help you in the future. I also want to throw in another little potential bonus opportunity that might exist here. In addition to the prize money and stuff like that, which is all great, I'm just going to put it out there. There's lots of jobs available here at Royal Botanical Gardens in our visitor services area. For the folks that are in the McMaster Business Program, we do hire people. Last year we had the marketing and communications intern, so there's lots of opportunities that can come out of programs like this. So what I am going to tell you about is, I'll probably jump to the reveal. You guys are going to help me come up with strategic ideas on how we can engage the youth market. Okay? RBG, I want to just do a little test here. How many people have been here before? Okay, that's good. It's actually more than I expected. A lot of people probably know us. You come here with your families. You have pictures taken. You might come to see kind of holiday season decoration, but we are more than that. And how much more? We are Canada's largest botanical gardens. We have over 1,100 hectares of land under management, 11 square miles. We have 30 kilometers of Great Lakes coastline. It's a pretty massive chunk of property. And our job is to connect people to nature. We have a lot of expertise in horticulture, a lot of expertise in science, a lot of expertise in education. We have unique gardens, and we aim to inspire people's interest and nurture a commitment to nature. We are a self-governing charity where we get a large part of our revenue from the provincial government, from the city of Hamilton and the region of Halton, but we have to generate a lot of other revenue. The kids that you see running around out there, they've come to see frogs. They've come to see the over 100 frogs that are outside, and they our interpreters are trying to encourage kids to have an interest in nature. So after you leave today's session, go out, go into the atrium, see the frogs. You know, we have poison dart frogs, we have waxy monkey frogs, and share that experience on social media. So we're located in Hamilton, Burlington, and all of the lands that back on McMaster University, that parkland is managed by RBG. Probably a lot of people didn't recognize that. It started as a public park in the 1920s. It was a creation of the Hamilton Parks Board. And in 1930, we became the Royal Botanical Gardens. We have a charter from King George V of England saying, yes, I would like to, I have no objection to you calling your gardens royal. So we have a long history, and we are really immersed in the creation of Hamilton. All of the lands that led from Burlington to Toronto were part of a major design competition. And we were created as an act of provincial legislation in 1941. So this is kind of like an overview. The next slide is how much land we actually have. The star is right where you're sitting now. And the next slide, if we can go to that, there's a couple of things that will pop up in the graphics. We have formal gardens in Henry Park, Lakeland Gardens, and the big blue circular blob there, that's a nature center. We actually, if some of you may have come to summer camps over the years, we have an outdoor education school that operates there. But when you see this landmass, this is all the land that is known as RBG. So there's a lot of opportunities there. We are really all about celebrating beautiful plants and promoting healthy lifestyles. We have 5 major garden areas. Out here in the greenhouses, there are Mediterranean plants. We have collections of cacti. We have collections of lilacs. We have medicinal plants. We have outdoor activities all year long for kids. We teach kids how to be gardeners. We teach people how to hike responsibly on trails and learn about nature. We have a music program here in the summer, and there's much more. We are big in the world of conservation as well. Probably didn't know it, but in Coots Paradise, we nurtured the return of bald eagles to the Great Lakes. So there's actually nests out there of kind of the majestic bald eagles. Coots Paradise, probably before most of you were born, was a cesspool. We have nurtured that back to life by removing invasive species of fish. And if you've ever had the chance to walk the trail between Princess Point and downtown Hamilton, and you go under the bridge, there is a installation called the Fishway, where we're keeping Eurasian carp out of Coots Paradise so that native species can get back and just really restore the environment to the way it was. Native fish species getting in there, native plants, and plants lead to wildlife, wildlife leads to eagles, and it leads to a cleaner environment. So we've been working on that. A lot of people don't really recognize, but RBG is part of a UNESCO World Biosphere Reserve. UNESCO is the United Nations Education, Science, and Cultural Organization. We've got some pretty significant bits of environment right here in your backyard that most people don't know is really important. 40% of all of the plants that are found in Ontario can be found in RBG lands. 25% of all of the plant species that are found in Canada can be found here in RBG. And so we are stewards of nature, and our job is to teach people, or to just really inspire people to have conversations about nature. We have exhibits, we have done things like dinosaurs. I mentioned the frogs are out there right now. Last year we did Savage Gardens Nature's Ninjas, which was about insects and wild plants. We have annual festivals that do celebrate gardens, flowers, and natures. We do special events like the kids' teddy bear picnic. We have a weekend, the long weekend in August. We transform our garden across the street into a fairyland. It's called the Enchanted Weekend, and kids come and they get dressed up as fairies, gnomes, and little creatures, and it's all meant to get them out into nature. There's something that happens that's been kind of like a modern phenomenon, where people have what's called NDD. People know what ADD is, attention deficit disorder, but a lot of kids today suffer from nature deficit disorder. Kids don't get out and play. Kids don't know how to go out in the forest and have fun. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to figure out ways to get kids outdoors. And so we have hundreds of courses that exist. You know, in the room a couple of doors over, we have yoga programs. We have horticultural therapy. We do culinary training out of our kitchen. Any way that we can find to figure out ways to have connections with people to talk about the world of plants is what we're all about. Even painting. So to give you an idea of what our current market is now, it's a little bit rough, and I think that this is probably, you'll be provided with this deck, but in terms of demographics for the marketing assignment coming in, this is what our current market does look like. And the key thing that I want you to focus on is less than 3% of our market is the youth market between 12 and 18. So why don't people like you come to RBG? That's what I'm putting out the challenge for you to do. I need to get ways to connect with you. I don't know how to speak the language that high school students are speaking today. You know, I'm a dad of 2 kids. I don't know how to, like my son who is 11 blows me out of the water with technology. But I need to connect with this audience. I need to create programs. I need to create communication opportunities to engage with this market. Next slide, please. This is just what our Facebook profile looks like. Primarily, it's a female-skewed audience on Facebook. There isn't much in the lower end of the market. We get a lot of kind of moms and grandmothers that are our Facebook followers. When you look at where the distribution is, it's primarily Hamilton and Burlington is where our audience lives. Next, the same is true for Twitter in terms of there isn't much on the younger end of the spectrum. It tends to be more of a attraction that resonates with a female audience. Next, please. So this is what our current target audience, this is what my marketing plan says right now. It's active adults with an interest in culture. That's the age range. We try to target young families, and then the other key market segment is our members. We have lots and lots of families that are year-round members to RBG. They are, in many ways, our lifeblood. We also have a 400-strong core of volunteers. It's called our auxiliary. They donate their time to help us execute our programs. So they are important. We do also have opportunities for high school students to get volunteer hours, but we don't do a good job at publicizing that fact. That's something that I'm trying to figure out ways in which to encourage that. So next, please. Now these, the Ontario Tourism Marketing Partnership Corporation, OTMPC, is the organization that really is responsible for marketing tourism in Ontario. Their markets segments that are important to us are the family memory builders, and this just kind of gives you an example of some of the key motivations that that this segment is after. Family memory builders. It's about sharing the pictures. It's about multi-generational family connections. It talks about what their media habits are, where their top planning sources are, where do they get their information. The next is a category called knowledge seekers. People are interested in learning about things. They want authentic opportunities to have experiences. This is the whole quest for knowledge. This is the opportunities where people want to go on a walk here at RBG and learn about wildflowers. So that's that category. The next is nature lovers. These are the people who like to get outside. So we want to talk to them. Family friendly. The next is what are called connected explorers. They are interested in the authentic experiences. They want to do what the locals do. They want to take in all of the attractions. The next is, and these are kind of up and coming explorers. These are people, whether they be second generation Canadians that are now, they've established themselves here in Canada, and now they want to connect and they want to explore the landscape. All of these profiles can be found on a website called tourismpartners.com, which is the Ontario Tourism Marketing Partnership Corporation industry website. All marketing strategies for various targets are there. There's information on the youth segment as well. So I think that the next is, so the challenge is help RBG increase interest in attendance from the youth market. Now, you guys are invaluable to me. The ideas that you're going to try to present via this case can help me. Something that you present might be a blinding flash of the obvious to me. I had never, ever thought about that, but in your vocabulary, in the way that you present things, it can really help make a change for this organization, because we really want to do more to connect with the youth market. So when you go back into your groups and when you start doing the research and when you start dissecting our website, be frank, be brutal, be honest. Tell us what you think needs to change. If there's an idea that you can come up with based upon something that you may have seen in the past, work with your mentors in order to brainstorm that idea, because good things can come out of it. And the process that you're going to go through is something that's very important for your careers in the future. Brainstorming ideas, kind of working to build an idea, to present it in a way that is well thought out. That's going to be the legacy of a project like this. And whether at the end of the day that you're standing here holding a trophy, you are going to be getting an enriching experience thanks to this process. Now, that's the challenge. Help me connect with the youth market. We're an underappreciated, unknown entity. There's lots of, I hate to use a bad pun about garden, but there's lots of fertile ground out there for you guys to work with. But again, Thank you to Alexandra and Mary for bringing me this opportunity. Thank you for your interest and dedicating some of your bandwidth to thinking about RBG. So thank you very much. And I don't know whether at this point in time, do we open the floor to questions? If people have questions of me?
Oh yeah, if anyone wants to ask Duncan some questions.
While I'm here, so fire away. There's no such thing as a bad question. Okay. Everything is at rbg.ca. That is the main go-to site. We do have links to our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube channels there. Some of the key tourism partners sites, tourismhamilton.com, Tourism Burlington, the main Ontario Tourism public website is ontariotravel.net, and we do have presence on most other platforms, TripAdvisor, etc. So those are that's the key kind of digital gateways for information for us. And also too, like on your way out, there's information to pick up. There's kind of program guides. There's our gardens guides. There's informations on kind of learning at the gardens, etc. So giddy up and go crazy and pick up whatever information you need. Other bits? Okay. Thank you. Look forward to seeing the results.
Okay, so we'd like to say thank you again to Mr. Duncan Ross for presenting, and on behalf of High School Business Heroes, we'd like to present to you as present.
Thank you.
So we do hope that after hearing his presentation, you guys have a bit more insight on how you should structure your report. For example, he talked about how on the social media pages, there was more female dominant rather than male. So something you guys can consider is how to get more males interested. So again, the case challenge for this year will be how to develop a marketing strategy to increase interest and attendance among youth for the Royal Botanical Gardens. Next slide, please. Okay, so before we continue on with our presentation, I'd just like to introduce to you guys the executive team. So can I have all the executive team members come up to the front? You can just hand that to my sister. She can record it. As you know, Allie and I are the co-chairs for this year.
I'm Sarah. I'm the CAO.
I'm Seville, and I am the mentorship coordinator.
My name's Eric, and I'm your sponsorship director.
Hi guys, I'm Ashley, and I'm your CFO. I'm Monica, and I'm the other CFO.
I'm Julie, I'm the public relations officer.
And I'm Melissa, and I'm the CMO.
And that is our executive team for 2015. Ali and I are very thankful to have them on our team this year. These individuals have committed their time to be a part of the High School Business Heroes, and without them we wouldn't have gotten so much progress as we have today. So thank you again. Want to go over the competition overview once again. So we want to mention how the first seminar is February 23rd, and that is the upcoming Monday. Ali will go into more detail about that closer to the end of the presentation. And then we also have, if you go to the next slide, you'll see that there's 4 seminars that we have prepared, and these seminars are set up to benefit you participants.
So here we'll give you guys more information on the different phases, the criteria, the guidelines. We'll also provide you with some examples of how you should do your work as well. And then we have the closing ceremonies on April 4th. And as you can see, the competition goes from February to April. So it does take up a couple months, but that is because we try to space everything out just so participants have enough time to complete each phase. And then now we'll focus on the first phase, which is the elevator pitch. As you know, there are 3 phases. And so the first one, the idea of it is that if you were in an elevator with the CEO and you had some sort of a business plan, what are the important points that you would tell the CEO to get him interested? And that's the purpose of the first phase, just trying to put out your clear and concise ideas and having a little explanation for them. And for this phase, it is also a 2-page report. And for this phase, we're also focusing more on creativity, not really formatting. Of course, we'd like to see that you follow the guidelines, like the font, having the correct font, the line spacing and everything, but again, it will be based on creativity. And the next slide. So now I'd like to introduce our mentorship coordinator, Seville, and she'll go in more detail about the mentor roles and how they can help the participants throughout the competition.
Thanks, Mary. Hi, everyone. Again, my name is Seville, and I am the Student Mentorship Coordinator. Essentially, I act as a liaison between our wonderful co-chairs, Allie and Mary, as well as the incredibly talented mentors that are behind you. Now, you may be wondering in which ways the mentors can help your team. In essence, your assigned mentors can provide you with valuable insight and prove to be a truly useful resource, depending on how you choose to use them. However, as someone who competed in the competition 2 years ago, I strongly suggest that you check in with your mentors and pick their brains when needed, because they have a great deal of experience and knowledge to help propel your team forward in the competition. But in specific, what can they do? Well, most, if not all of you, have or are currently taking a business class, so I'm sure that all of you have a great deal of experience that lays out a great foundation of commerce and marketing knowledge. However, your mentors cannot instruct you or try to teach you entirely new and obscure business concepts, but what they can do is help facilitate what you've learned in the classroom throughout the competition, such as how to properly develop a marketing mix or SWOT analysis. Since no two teams are alike, your mentors have committed themselves to catering their approach to your team's specific needs. For example, some of you may require more help with the technicalities of the report, such as formatting and citations, while others may require more help with presentation skills that will come in handy later on in the competition. In either case, your mentors are here to help guide you, and ultimately it doesn't hurt to ask. If you're uncertain about anything and you're not sure if you can ask that specific question, it doesn't hurt to inquire about it from your mentors, and they'll do their best to assist you in any way that falls within the rules of the competition. Moving on to helpful tips that will help your team do well in the competition. First and foremost, you want to edit your work together as a group. It sounds corny, but every member of your team has a great deal of value that they can contribute to the competition. So it's imperative that you work cohesively throughout all phases, including editing. Next, you'll want to plan ahead. If some of you are concerned about time constraints, that's understandable. However, if you can organize and maintain diligent planning throughout, you will do exceptionally well in this competition. You'll want to also follow guidelines carefully. The executive team will be marked